Tomorrow night, Hard Rock Live. It's Bob Saget. I can definitely say a good friend of the show. I mean, every time he's in town, he doesn't visit once. He visits 2 or 3 times, and we love seeing him. And man, I think we've been seeing him for at least a decade, if not more than that. Coming on the show. So it's good having him. Welcome back to the Monsters. I'm Russ, along with Angel and Carlos and Ryan and Savannah. Yes, Angel.
No, I just had a question for Bob in regards to this. Your demeanor, the way that you carry yourself, something that you said earlier about how how important it's just to make people laugh. Where do you think, for you, what event in your life or anything that happened that helped you get to that mindset? Because that's not something that you find easily.
No, and I was saying during the break, I have a song that I close my show with called "I Don't Do Negative," and that'll be the name of my next special. And the whole thing is, it's harder to be positive. It's pretty easy to go down the negative rabbit hole because everybody's hurting. Everybody's mad at something. If they got all the money in the world, they're mad at their ex, or they want something they don't have. If they have nothing, they're mad because they have nothing. I mean, people are sick, So I've been just trying to bring whatever positive energy I can. It sounds so annoying to people that I hate analyzing it, but it's the truth. We were just talking about during the break. There's too much yelling. I can't take the yelling. I can't turn on the news no matter what channel it is. And I watch all the news. I watch everything. I want to know every viewpoint of people. And because I'm kind of I look at it like an outsider, because if I get inside, I get angry. I don't want to be yelling at the TV like everybody else, I'll be in an Elvis jumpsuit just firing away, blowing up the plasma. But I just want people to have a great time, and that's my job, is that they leave and they go, man, I feel so much better, because most of them poop in their seat. But I like my audience to be incontinent.
Hey, Bob, tell me about, because I'm fascinated with the Comedy Store and that documentary and the boot camp you basically, as a comic, have to go through, or had to go through. I guess in the day, I don't know if it's still the same way, but in the day, just to make it on stage at the Comedy Store, it really was amazing. And to see all of the talent that went through there, and I'm just curious, like, your time at the Comedy Store, what was it like getting started there, and who did you bump into, and all that stuff?
Well, it was I've been talking about it a lot lately because people are fascinated. My friend Mike Binder directed that, and he directed a bunch of movies, a bunch with Kevin Costner. One was Don't Look Back, I believe it was called.
Oh, yeah.
Joan Allen, and he's a really good director. He did Mind of the Married Man on HBO. I directed one of those because Mike said, you want to direct one. And he makes this 4 or 5 part documentary for Showtime. Mm-hmm. Unbelievably well done. And he talked to everybody because that's where we came up. So when I first started, my first MC was Letterman, and literally the night that I went up, first I got accepted to be a regular, which is this big achievement that you get to be a non-paid regular, because at that time there was a strike a couple years later. Comedy Store strike. It's pretty tragic.
Did you have to work the door? Because they said, I remember seeing it, and they said a lot of the comics had to work the door first before they even got on stage. Did that happen with you?
No, I like doors. They help me get
you don't know how to work
rooms.
them.
Who doesn't love a cold doorknob at 2 a.m.? But yeah, right. Oh, I hit you a little bit too hard there, Carlos. So but I was a guy that came in. I won the student Oscar for a student film I made, a serious documentary, and then the owner, Mitzi Shore, said, "You're going to work here. You come work here for nothing. Quit grad school at USC." And so I went, okay. And so I did. But then my reward was, holy crap, I'm really a comedian. And I was on a lineup with people. Michael Keaton and Billy Crystal took me aside and said, "Where are you from?" And he was on a show called Soap at the time.
Yeah.
And and Michael Keaton he did a little bit of movie work, but he was doing a sitcom with Jim Belushi called Working Stiffs, and Robin Williams came up to me. I used to have a very weird act as opposed to now, but it was
straight and
really weird. I would say I have no life and I have no friends and I live in a moped, and that was like
Ryan.
It was, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. and Robin said, so let me get this straight. Your mother is Gumby and your father is Pokey and you're Mr. Potato Head. And I went, yeah. And he went, okay. You poor crazy person. And I just met everybody. I mean, and then I emceed the place. There were like 10 MCs at least. And some of them are well known and some aren't with us anymore.